she's probably been put in there because according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. You know that's what it is.
I want to be clear, though, it's not her first job. It was her first press briefing. She worked in the previous Trump administration.
L, the young, sharp, and unapologetically conservative powerhouse, has just dropped a bombshell that has left Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, and Sunny Hostin scrambling, and get this, she didn't even have to step foot on their stage to do it after yet another unhinged attack from The View. Caroline didn't just sit back and take it, oh no, she went straight for the jugular, exposing their hypocrisy, roasting their tired talking points, and dragging the entire show through the mud. And now the backlash is so intense there are whispers swirling that ABC executives are seriously considering pulling the plug on The View altogether. Yeah, it's that bad. But before we dive in, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more uncensored drama-packed updates. Did you just subscribe? Awesome. Let's get into the details of what went down. It all started when Joy Behar, the self-proclaimed feminist, decided to go after Caroline Leavitt, the 27-year-old press secretary for former President Donald Trump. Joy, as usual, couldn't resist throwing out a comment that sent shockwaves through the media. During an episode, Joy implied that Caroline had only secured her position because of her looks. I think she's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10. Joy said, referring to Caroline's appearance. Caroline Leavitt's jaw-dropping comments that sparked outrage were the reason behind her professional success. This bizarre statement came from none other than Joy Behar, who in the past has positioned herself as a champion of women's rights and feminism. To make it even more outrageous, Joy said this in front of a live audience, apparently without a second thought about how damaging and demeaning those words were. The View hosts have long touted themselves as champions for women, but in this moment it was clear they were undermining another woman's success simply because she didn't fit their liberal mold. And while Caroline's conservative views might rub the hosts the wrong way, the comment was still incredibly hypocritical, especially coming from someone who purports to stand up for women. The comment didn't just spark backlash from the conservative side of the political spectrum. It also caught the attention of many viewers who were horrified that a group of women who claim to empower other women would mock Caroline's career based on her appearance. One commentator, the backlash against Caroline Leavitt and The View, even described Joy's remarks as disgusting, calling out the double standards that are rampant in liberal feminism. But Caroline wasn't about to let Joy's jab slide. Instead of simply ignoring the criticism, she took the fight to social media and dropped a takedown that left The View producers and hosts reeling in a viral video. Caroline fired back at the show for what she saw as the height of hypocrisy. She called out Whoopi Goldberg for her claim that Caroline wouldn't have her platform without wokeness, asserting that she had worked hard to get where she is, not because of some politically correct agenda. Caroline even took aim at Sunny Hostin, who loves to play the race card whenever there's an uncomfortable situation, but Caroline wasn't having it.
I would like this young lady this is her first job, I would like her to do a little homework, because she said something yesterday that really pissed me off. And that was, she said, there will be no wokeness here.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain something to you. Because without that wokeness, you might not have that job.
Yeah.
Because women were not invited to that table. Women were not invited to many tables in this nation. The reason we fought and busted our behinds to make sure that you didn't have to worry about this. And now to hear you talk about it and to hear anybody talk about the wokeness was put in place for a reason. Because black people couldn't get into colleges. Because women could not get into the colleges they wanted to go to. This is all women. Yeah. See, this is not black, Asian women. This is all women. Women were not invited to this party. It was a man's world, and we busted our asses to make sure that this was a person's world.
Pointed out the glaring double standards and hypocrisy that runs rampant on The View, especially when it comes to issues like feminism and women's success. The View doesn't want strong the implications of the show's cancellation are that they want women who follow their script, and I refuse to play their game. Caroline declared in the video a line that had viewers everywhere sitting up straight. Caroline didn't stop there. She tore into Joy Behar for what she called the perfect example of modern feminism. She argued that if you're a conservative woman, the hosts of The View will mock your looks, belittle your achievements, and tear down your credibility at every turn. Caroline, in no uncertain terms, called out the hypocrisy of a group of women who claim to support feminism but only do so when it's in line with their political views. Joy Behar is the perfect example of modern feminism. Caroline said if you're a conservative woman, they'll mock your looks and belittle your achievements. So much for empowering women, hey? She continued by challenging Whoopi Goldberg, who had claimed that Caroline wouldn't have a job without wokeness, saying, "Please, I didn't get where I am because of wokeness. I worked hard, unlike the unqualified diversity hires that The View propped up for years." The line left viewers in shock. Caroline wasn't afraid to hold back, and she clearly knew how to hit where it hurt. The more she tore apart the show's double standards, the more people began to take notice. This wasn't just a simple defense of herself. It was a full-on expose of the views, manipulation, and hypocrisy. The response from the public was immediate and explosive. The video went viral, and before long the number of solid views and numbers Caroline Leavitt was trending on Twitter. It's not often that a conservative voice takes down a liberal powerhouse like is The View, but Caroline's no-nonsense approach has clearly struck a chord with millions. But here's the twist. The View didn't see this coming. They thought they could mock Caroline, brush it off, and go about their day. But in reality, they gave her more exposure than ever before. Far from hurting her credibility, they just made Caroline a household name. The latest updates on the controversy: she was already a rising star in conservative politics, but now she's a household name behind the scenes. ABC executives are reportedly panicking. Sources are leaking that producers aren't happy about how bad the situation makes them look. Some have even suggested that Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar could be on their way out if things continue to spiral. And here's where it gets even worse for The View. Sponsors are getting nervous. Major brands are reportedly reconsidering their ad placements on the show, with some even pulling back their support. The reality is no one wants to be associated with this level of controversy, especially when it's only making the show look more out of touch. Viewers are starting to question whether The View has gone too far. Even some of their own fans are calling them out for mocking a woman's achievements simply because she doesn't share their political views. One viral tweet perfectly summed up the situation. The View preaches empowerment but mocks any woman who doesn't fit their agenda. Caroline Leavitt just exposed them for what they really are. The backlash is snowballing, the hypocrisy is undeniable, and ABC is now facing a very real decision: clean house or cancel the show entirely. For years, The View has survived off of controversy, but now it seems the backlash has grown bigger than any ratings boost. If ABC wants to maintain any credibility they might have to make some serious changes. Could this be the moment that finally takes The View down for good? Is this the point of no return? Did The View finally go too far with their attacks on Caroline? Was the wake-up call the media needed? And do you think ABC will actually pull the plug on The View after this disaster? Drop your thoughts in the comments before you go. Don't forget to smash that like button and hit subscribe to Celebrity Emotions so you don't miss any breaking updates.